As Texas State and the San Marcos area continues to grow, transportation will have to grow with it. Like most college campuses, our beautiful school is spread out over many square miles. Our students have access to buses, and many choose to walk or drive around campus. But these options aren't always efficient. Walking and or taking the bus can take loads of time, and having a car can be too expensive for many students. Most recently, our campus has adopted a system called Bike Share to help students with transportation needs. According to Scott Bayer of Forbes magazine, college campuses are the place to expand due to the vast need for cheap transportation and the ability to use bikes in a small setting. As Texas State decides what is the best way to move forward with transportation on campus, the question must be asked: will VO Ride bikes and scooters be the best option for our campus transportation needs? VO Ride is the bike share company that has set its roots on the Texas State campus. Only a small number of bikes have been added, but more may come. Bird scooters are another rideshare concept that many campuses have adopted, like UT and UTSA. Texas State may follow lead and add scooters.
They are pretty much a good thing to have because it will help students get around campus very easily. But I've seen some of the bikes not being placed properly, so it doesn't really look that pretty. I haven't used them because I don't know how to ride a bike, so I can't really use them.
I really like the bikes, and yes, I use them. They have saved me time to just get from like Galardia to other places like music class. They're really, really fast. And
I haven't used them mainly because I've never been told how they're used, or like where do I go to pay for them, or I don't know anything about them. They just showed up one day.
VO Ride allows students to scan a bike and pay a small amount per minute through an app. The concept is fast, cheap, and efficient. These bikes have the potential to save students money and the environment from CO2 emissions. Every 10 miles on a bike share bike saves about 7 pounds of CO2 from polluting the air and costs mere cents compared to gas money. Not to mention, parking a bike or scooter is much easier and takes up less space. On a campus like Texas State, where parking is slim to none, this is a big pro. But what are the cons other campuses have seen as Texas State tries to decide to expand or ban the rideshare transportation? Although the scooters and bikes are great to save money and the environment, improvements are needed to make them safe for campuses. Many college campuses have had bikes and scooter accidents. Because a driver's license is not required to operate, it can be hard to make sure people are using the transportation safely.
Students should be liable because we're all of age to drive, therefore we're all of age to ride a scooter. So it is all on so whether students want to wear the protective gear or not is all on the students.
Like both of them are responsible for everything. One, because Texas State is the one that said the bikes should be allowed here, and the roads right over here that like not as safety as they should be, and they should fix that. But then the students are responsible as well for using the protective gear. They're the ones that they have the ability to just, I'm gonna put my helmet so like I can prevent for something happening. So I feel like both of them are responsible for that.
I say Texas State because they're the ones that agreed to the contracts to have the scooters here brought to the students, and like they're kind of responsible for everything that goes on here. And like sometimes whenever you're like walking around campus, you see people like on skateboards and bikes like kind of trip, feels like the street has like potholes in it, or there's like little like cracks and stuff, and they like trip.
Another problem, particularly at Texas State, is the amount of stairs our campus has due to the hilly landscape. Many students find themselves carrying their bikes up flights of stairs. This is neither safe or efficient when trying to rush to class.
I think that is a very good price, especially since it takes around maybe 10 minutes, maybe a little more depending on how fast you walk, and 50 cents is pretty much less than $1. Anything less than $1 is a pretty
That
good
sounds a little expensive. 15 minutes for 50 cents. I don't have that type of money.
Not the time. I feel like there should be 30 because sometimes you take longer, especially when you try to cross the streets. So it takes you longer.
Because of traffic?
Yeah, traffic.
If Texas State decides to expand the current bike share programs and further invest in rideshare scooters, it is important to make them as accessible as possible. The cost of campus buses is included in tuition. If Texas State would also include the price of bikes and scooters into the tuition, then our community could benefit even more. Although there are risks, Alex Vaught, coordinator of alternative transportation at Texas State, says, VO Ride has so far been successful on campus. I am pleased with the amount of utilization. Likely, comprehensive bike infrastructure would help VO Ride bikes even more on campus.
I think it would be a great idea, mainly because on the bikes, try to ride the hills are super hard, and I feel like it's going to be better to have electric because you're going to be not as tired as when you get to
Yes,
know.
because it's light to pick up when you're going down the stairs or up the stairs. You also get to class faster, and it's more enjoyable for students throughout the day to get to and from class.
Scooters sound like they'd be kind of cool, but I mean, already the bikes that we have now, those yellow bikes, you're walking down the stairs and like you could literally run into them, like they're in the most random places ever. And then plus, it's kind of hard to use scooters because of all the stairs and stuff, and I feel like it would make it hard for people who have like disabilities to be able to get around like on the ramps and stuff. Like they would take up their space instead of just walking.
Always walking is very easy to get around ramps, especially for the disabled, so riding on wheelchairs and stuff like that. And bicycles, they're like really inconvenient. You kind of go around in a circle before you actually get to the bottom compared to whenever you're walking down the stairs. So I think walking is always the best type of transportation. Maybe some kind of like skateboard, those electric skateboards that people have, that could be a little easier for transportation.
Probably the shuttles would work the best since it can transport more people at once and it won't be too bad for our ecosystem, I guess. But maybe they should add more routes, especially like late routes like at night, because that's when you study at night and then there's no routes. But yeah, shuttle.
Shuttles would be the fastest and most eco-friendly, but also personally I could get from LBJ to Supple in like 3 minutes by walking, so with me walking would be faster. But I know for some students they don't have that option, so the shuttle would be the fastest.
The best way to begin changing our transportation here at Texas State for the better is to begin to introduce more rideshare bikes and scooters. To do so, a few minor changes to the campus, like expanding our rampways, would need to be made. To keep students safe, a few campus rules about how to safely and effectively use the bikes and scooters would need to be put into effect. Though these changes might seem like a hard task, the benefits of the scooters would be tremendous for the environment, students, and the university as a whole. Let's make our university better, one rideshare ride at a time.
To learn more about our vision for Texas State, please visit www.ridealong.wixsite.com/mysite. On our page, you can learn more about us, ways to prevent injury, environmental benefits, and how it benefits you.